Hello everybody, Frankie Day here from Frankie Day Models. Okay fellas, for this late evening, I have for you video number 4 for a gift from Freddy, the SB2C-1 Helldiver, 148 scale, the Monogram Pro Model Series. Okay, I got this thing pretty well on the way right now. I just have a very few parts put on it and decals and give it a coat of wash here and there. And give it some matte varnish for the last step, and she's all done. And we'll take the camera down. We'll take a look at it and show you how, and we'll waltz through the build and show you how much old Frankie Day is going on. And then I got some other stuff I want to show you here I got going on too. Alrighty, this camera here is always friendly. I know I am, so I'm going to take it down about a good notch, right about there. That's good enough right there. Okay, here she is, SB2C-1 Helldiver. This is the late 1942, and just before they started to put the, I did some research on this thing. The SB2C-1 was used all the way up to 1943 until they start coming out with other versions. And so I'd say by spring of 1943, the SB2C3 and 4 versions came out, and 44 and 45 that the SB2C5 came out. So this here has a star and bar instead of the 1942 star and circle. The SB2C-1 Helldiver did not have perforated die flaps like that of the 3, 4, and 5 models. This is another design problem that they had with it when it first came out. It looked good on paper. It looked good from a test pilot's point of view before being released to the United States Navy for shipboard carrier use. These were her lead board carriers, and the bugs really weren't worked out of these things. It's like everything in life, fellas. Anything that's new, you think it's infallible, it's going to get you down. It's just problems, you know. They had a lot of problems with this airplane when it first came out. By 1943, 1944, it was pretty well worked out. And it was proven one hell of an airplane. And all the air crews and pilots slowly fell in love with it like they did the Dauntless. On the SB2C-1 Helldiver, like I was mentioned earlier on the video, a couple seconds ago, about the perforated dive flaps. When this thing go into a 70-degree dive, that's about 500 miles. That's about 500 feet a second. You got two 1,000-pound bombs in the terminal bomb bay. And within 2 seconds of that, you got to release that bomb and head for the clouds. Otherwise, you're going to have impact. And these perforated, these dive brakes that they had were not perforated, and they had a problem with stalling on it. It would actually slow the aircraft down too much, almost putting it into a stall, causing the dive to be less effective than what it's supposed to be designed for. So that's why they start going through the perforated dive flaps. Then the plane can actually successfully go into excellent dives without having any problems with stalling. Because the flaps on these things here, on this aircraft here, are not perforated, as you can see, no holes. You drop those flaps down going about 300-400 miles an hour into a good dive. You know, it'll slow the plane very immensely. It also caused a lot of wing structure problems too. They should have learned that from Donald Douglas on the SBD Dauntless, when the Dauntless had perforated dive flaps. But the Curtiss Aircraft Company finally added perforated die flaps. Some pilots, from pilots to pilots, they were non-perforated die flaps were different to them. It depends on what kind of dive. A lot of dives they had to do, they had to be a lot more shallower dive. But they're instructed and trained to go to 7 degrees. Sonarbit second class, she was dubbed for. Big tail beast. First factor of the SB2C Helldiver was the power plant, the Ahoy cyclone. By adding another cylinder on it, it gave it more horsepower. These things are very slow getting off the deck of a carrier. When they usually take off the deck of a carrier as they go, you can see them dipping in the water because they don't have enough airspeed to stabilize it so the pilot can take control. And plus you got ground looping too from the ocean. That causes it also too to spin over. But the problems they had were on beyond that. They had landing gear problems on the undercarriage. On the only sometimes they would snap from the retracting link. You gotta excuse me, guys. Look at this wretched dog in. Every time I make a video, oh, I'm back, guys. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, the undercarriage problems. They snap from the oleosin and the retracting links. And also, they have a lot of problems with the undercarriage covers right over in here. They have a cover fits there, so eventually they removed it and left the outer landing gear cover on there. That was optional. They had a lot of problems with it, so they got rid of it. They reinforced the landing gear more. Curtis Airport, Glenn Curtis, designer of this here aircraft, they were really on the spot fixing these things up. They stopped the assembly line and everything and redone everything. And they added the perforated die flaps, and they actually added another cylinder to the engine. And it was a 9-cylinder. They give it 12. I think it's 12 cylinders. I think it's 9 cylinders. Pretty much what it was. And so they put a double row, a right cyclone engine in there, and that gave a lot more power than what it had. And so they had no problem. These were the flying dump trucks of the 1940s. Its successor was the 86 Sky Raider, known as the Able Dog, Sandy's, the Spads. But the Helldiver has a special hold in your heart, you know. I remember a lot of publications years ago during the Battle of Midway. They say most of the carriers are sunk by torpedoes. No, they weren't. We had no torpedoes. The torpedoes we had were ineffective. They didn't work as beams. So they had, the heyday was a dive bomber. That was the SPD Douglas dive bomber, which I have a matchbox kit I built here many years ago. I think I built this back in 1978 when it first came out. I did a lot of work on this thing. Top turns. A lot of work on this thing. 1/32 scale. I think it cost me $12 back then. I remember that. Oh yeah. Also made the wheels fold up too. It's a matchbox kit, 1/32 scale. Well, this is a gift from Freddy. Freddy Duarte sent this to me about 2 months ago, and I'm building it for him and me too. This is a gift from my dear friend Freddy. And everybody out there, like you guys, give you support to Mr. Freddy because he ain't feeling too well. I know he's got a lot of things on his mind and things, you know, and he's taunted to death with his with peace with the symptoms he has, PSD he has, and everything. Like I say, fellas, war does things to people, you know. When you're out of high school, when you're used to civilization, and you're in uniform, you're out there fighting a foe, and he's shooting at you and everything. That's a whole different world, guys. It affects you. It really does. It really does. Everybody says don't affect them and avoid them. They're idiots. It does. Sometimes if a backfire go off, sometimes I jump a little bit. During Vietnam, there's a lot of that stuff. A lot of incoming coming in out there. It was bad out there. War is hell. It ain't no good. And I pray we don't go to war again. It's nasty business. It's not right. Okay. This is the conclusion video for. Oh yes, before I conclude this thing, I forgot to mention these parts are here in front. That's all I need done. I've got the twin 30 caliber machine guns. I got them all done. SB2 taking with you out of the way, old girl. I want to bust you. It's right here. It's got to be painted and weathered. And I got the seat right there. Goes there for the observator seat and rear gunner. Instead of using the Curtis Wright 4-bladed prop, the SB2C-1 had a 3-blade prop and a spinner to match. I painted that intermediate blue. Also, I got the double yokes right here for the bombs. We got the 2,000-pound one bombs right there. They're painted early in the war. They painted gray. Then they went to holograms. This is a beautiful airplane. And I'm going to turn underneath here before I glue this thing. Let me give it a good wash, probably. That's all it needs, a nice wash. It's all done. The SOB second class, the mighty Helldiver. There's only one flying example of it today. It flies around, the only one on Earth. I think they found one in a reservoir. I guess they'll probably restore that, stick that in a museum. And they got a lot that's sunk out there. They probably they found a lot of them out there. But when it comes to airborne stuff, you know, we only got one such example. Okay, put this ashtray out of the way. I'll push this hold out a little closer to the camera here. Right now, I'm finishing up some stuff right now, fellas. I'm going to finish up this SB2C Helldiver. It'll be done. It'll be finished tomorrow. I probably have the final reveal for it Friday. I want to take some nice outside pictures because Friday's going to be a beautiful day, I hear. So I got my nice little outside thing out there set out there, and I'll take the SOB second class out there and take some pictures of it, post some on the Facebook pages, and Freddie will like that. And I'm going to finish up my Berlin airlift too. I'm going to that. I had this thing probably done probably early next week by Skymaster. I got to put the undercarriage on, mask off the undercarriage. But before I put the undercarriage on, I'll go ahead and mask off. Instead of masking the wheel wells, I'm going to use the landing gear doors because they're all in one piece. Instead of having 4 pieces, they're all molded in one. They're molded in just one piece. And you have to cut them into 4 pieces, and they'll fit nice in there. And I'll mask them here, and I'll mask over in the store here. This has already been masked already. The windows all been masked. I got the front windows all masked. This has all been sanded perfectly. Needs a little more sanding here. This is perfect here. I need to do a little more sanding right there. And when that's all done, I'm going to go ahead and start painting it black. All black. Negros. The whole plane. And I'm going to mask off the icers. The icer boots. On the tail and the stabilizer. I'll be hot of that after I finish the Helldiver. Okay. On the layered solution, on the video I posted yesterday, well, Frankie Day got great progress going on here. I've got the whole fuselage covered. I've got the elevators on. I'm starting to sand down the wing. And I got the bottom wing that fits underneath here. And I've got the undercarriage that fits on here. So far, this thing weighs 12 grams. Very light. I'm going to put about 8 strands of 1/8 rubber, which I got in that big baggie over here. I'm going to take it, apply it. This nose block comes off. It's got to be painted. I got to sand down those landing gear pants, prime them, paint same. I got me some green paint for this that'll match the tissue on this thing. For the tissue covering here, guys, I used I used alcohol. I used Windex and spray it on a spritzer. And when it's dried, for protection, instead of using Aerogloss dope, which don't exist no more, it does, but you got to hunt for it. I use Krylon Clear aerosol rattle cans. It works very, very well. I got that going. What I need to do now, I'm threatening to do this. It's got to be done. I got the HK Models D17 over there behind me. All it needs is put the clear appearances on it, and I paint the propeller tips. Since I put the guns on, I call it a wrap. It's done. And that'd be the conclusion of Val Wood's UK Modelers National Pride Group build that he had going on last year. And so I'll have that done for him, and he'll be happy that I concluded it. I'll get hot in Arizona, and also the SMS Mark Graph. Get her going. I don't know if I showed you the Arizona yesterday, but I think I did last time. I'm not too certain. Here it is over here. Don't have it. That's how much you got on it now. This is not, like I mentioned before, I didn't glue this on here because I got to put Build-A-Wax railings on it, so it makes life a little sweeter and easy for me. You don't want to glue this thing down and have to go all around the hull, around this and that. You're just fighting yourself. For Revell, I think this is about the best out there next to 3.350 scale. It's very accurate. You can do optional things with a good gold metal fitting set. You can make it refit of 1932, or like this, December 7th, 1941. Okay, that's all I got shaking here, fellas. This is your video. That's about it. So when I finish that layered solution, it should look like this when it's done. I'll probably have that done in about a day or two. And I'll have a braid up some rubber and stick it down there with a rubber stick and pop it in, hook it up to my stooge. Give it about 350 good turns. Up we go in a while beyond it. Okay, that's about all shaking right now. So this is the conclusion of a gift from Freddy, the Monogram Pro Series 148 scale SB2C-1 Helldiver. It's a very wonderful kit. I think it's the best out there. Now they got NPH now. That's a bigger scale, 1/32 scale, more money. And but this is pretty good. Now the first one the Monogram did was about to desire. You know, I knew right off the bat there was something wrong about that thing, but it was neat. It came out in 1962. The wings fold. The landing gear came up and down. The bomb bay door would open. The bombs would drop. The canopy would slide. Tail hook go up and down. The propeller would spin. What else? Go out there and play with it out there. Just get a little jar of water. I used to get a SB2 dotless dive bomber. I used to be really good dive bombing a bottle of water, a glass of water. Take a glass of water like that and stick it like that with that. So what the hell are you doing? That's some dive bombing. You're dive bombing? What do you mean you're dive bombing? I got my dotless right here. Oh. What are you gonna? What's that glass of water for? I want to hit it with this bomb. And that goes with bomb. Step back and watch, Dad. I took it, pushed that toggle like that, and the bomb swung one. Right in that glass of water. There it goes. Jesus. Shook his head, kind of walked off. Dive bombing in a glass of water. It's fun, guys. It was fun. So that's one of my historical moments of my youth. And so I'm pretty sure a lot of you fellows out there had the same thing too. It's part of growing up, man. Part of growing up. Okay, this is the conclusion of the gift from Freddy, the SB2C Helldiver, the SOB second class. And I kind of showed you, give you what I got going on right now. And I got rubber bottles, rubber planes I'm going to be building too. So I got a lot of stuff done. I want to finish up what I got going on here, guys. I want to get the Helldiver done, get it hung up, get the B-17 done, get it hung up too, and get my Skymaster done, get it hung up. And I got guys, I can just go ahead and I'm all caught up with them. All I got is the shits behind me and my rubber jobs that I'll be doing. And some card models I'll be making on again. I'm everywhere. It's all the modeling. Okay. Make mama happy, take care of little ones, and beware of your surroundings, and please stand wisely, and stay focused when you're driving, and wear a mask on, fellas, you know, and take care of your family, take care of yourselves, and God love you guys. Thank you very much for your wonderful, wonderful candor, and wonderful, your views and comments on my videos. Like I said before, previously in other videos, my videos are quite different opposed to everybody. There's nothing upstream. It's just being human. Get the heavy human out of it. And besides, I'm too damn old to fiddle plot around that stuff. It's just, I'm lucky I can do what I do right now. But when it comes to editing, that's another thing too. You got to have tools and software and everything for that. So, but I'm not too much into that, guys, right now. Maybe later I might do that. But right now it's Frankie Day World. That's it. Okay. This is Frankie Day for Frankie Day Models signing off. God bless you guys. Take care of you. And stay posted for this week for the final reveal. I should have that by Friday. Friday I'll have that Helldiver all done. I'll have some nice stills posted on the computer here, taken outside, not inside. This camera does this thing justice. In person, this thing looks nice. It really does. But but that camera I got over here outside, it does it real nice too. It does a good job. And so stay posted with that. I got a lot of stuff coming your way, fellas. All right, I'm out of here, guys. It's been John here long enough. It's Frankie Day, signing off Frankie Day Models. Bye, boys.